Okay, so women generally do the selecting, the mate selecting, but their selections are stupid. All right, so what does this mean? All right, why do I say such a negative thing against the women? Well, because it's true. And any of you ladies listening know that you've made a lot of dumb decisions with men. Okay, so let's just put that out there. If you're a woman and you've made decisions with men, there's been one or two or 300 that have been bad ones. Okay, and so why? Like, what's going on, right? Well, it's because your decisions that you're making are based off of basically hindbrain or primal drives. Your instinctual brain is driving the decisions. It's filtering through your bucket of experiences in your unconscious minds. That could be good and bad experiences, things that, and some of these experiences aren't good for you, aren't going to serve you, and yet you're making decisions based off of those anyway. And then there's an emotional component as well. And so none of those things are logical. You could have a, world class intelligence level. You could be high IQ female, and yet your decisions might be ridiculous. All right, and they probably are. And so oftentimes, because in our evolutionary past, for most of our existence, we didn't live past 25, 30 years old. 30 was like the life expectancy for a long time. Now we live triple that. Within the last couple hundred years, we've tripled our lifespan practically. Okay, so with that, what will fulfill a long-term success for a mating strategy, which means having to be able to have resources to take care of yourself and having a partner by your side, you know, into when you're 70, 80 years old, okay, what decisions you need to make for that are not the same decisions that your primal brain is going to drive you towards as a female. All right, so guys, what does this mean for you? This means that their decisions are stupid. Okay, they're not logical, they're not intelligent. It's so you cannot base your value on any sexual decision that a female makes. Great, a hot chick wants to bang you, awesome, doesn't mean shit. She doesn't want to bang you, also awesome, also doesn't mean shit. Okay, and I'm talking about a singular individual woman. Now, if all of the women all over the land want nothing to do with you, well, there's probably things you're doing wrong to make, and you're probably not sexually marketable, and that those are the things that you need to work on. There's probably things you need to work on to make yourself sexually marketable, but not because of a woman, but because of you. You know, being the best version of yourself, being a good communicator, being in good shape, you know, chasing excellence, being really talented at something, you know, getting resources, all things that are going to be attractive to females. These are things you need to be doing, all right? And I coach, so you can hit me up if you're struggling in this area. But don't give a shit about what one particular chick thinks, because her ideas or thoughts are ridiculous, all right? And we see this all the time. I mean, there's an assumption because women in general choose the most alpha dominant males in a group, that if a woman doesn't choose you, then you must not have been alpha enough. And that does not actually pan out when you're dealing with individual decision making of a particular chick. So, for example, you might have the hot alpha guy who's the drummer in some band, and he makes a couple mil a year with his band, right? I don't know, you know. There's going to be plenty of chicks who are going to get backstage passes and want to fuck this guy, right? But there's going to be plenty of chicks who aren't going to get backstage passes, or if they have backstage passes, are not going to have sex with them. And that always interested me, because if it was just as black and white as, oh, well, she's going to choose the most dominant alpha guy that she can find and just sleep with them, if it was that black and white all the time, then how come there are always a lot of women who won't choose to sleep with that guy, even if given the opportunity? There's plenty of women who, you know, won't even put themselves in that situation, and they, you know what I mean? Even if they find the guy attractive. So what's the reasoning behind that? Well, there's other things that play a role. existential threat for female number one is not fulfilling a hypergamous drive, which means not mating with the most, genetically best option that they could get. But there are other drivers as well. The drive, if mating with that guy, that opportunity would mean social ostracization, okay, would mean that she was socially rejected. That plays a role too, and she might not mate with that guy if she thinks that she could get caught or get in trouble, or you know what I mean, or just her peer group won't accept that decision. Oftentimes she won't make that decision initially. Women have a fear of being alpha widowed. It's a deep fear that they have. They do it anyway, but they do have that fear because, and so that represents itself with when we look at how women choose. They generally don't choose guys who are several points above their SMV, even if they could potentially get them. That doesn't mean that lower value women don't ever have sex with higher value guys several points above them. It happens all the time, but what interests me is the amount of times that it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Even if they could. And I see it all the time in a military environment. I've seen it in workplace trips where there are higher value guys that you would think that these 3s and 4s would be jumping at the opportunity to try to sleep with those guys, but they don't even go for it. They don't even try, and they may even reject that alpha in favor of a guy who's just 1 or 2 sexual market value points above them. So they're not going for this dude. They're going for like this dude. They're not going for the dude that's below them, but they're not going for the dude that's going to blow their fucking mind. And sometimes they do, but a lot of times they don't. And it's like, how come they don't do that? I always ask that question. Like, I think more like an economist, or, when I'm trying to, you piece together a lot of information and you ask the right questions. And so I know why women go for the alpha guy, but why do they not go for the alpha guy though? That's always interesting. And again, it's that existential threat of being discarded by an alpha is a very real threat, because being discarded by an alpha could mean that they don't have resources to take care of their children in that tribe, for that matter. Do you know what I mean? It could mean tribal ostracization. So again, evolutionary past and primal thinking, that drive. If she knows she's going to get trashed by this guy, or if she knows that this dude is like a 9 and she is like a 3 or a 4, and she's like, God, I don't know why this guy would want to have sex with me. I'm attracted to him. I want to have sex with him, but I don't know why, there's no way he's going to stay with me. She might not have sex with him. Or what I'll see too is she'll choose to have sex with him. She'll get her mind fucking blown, and then she'll like cut it off, or she'll ghost the guy, or she'll just be like, I can't do this anymore, because she knows that like she's got, her anxiety is so high and so concerned, like, because this guy's the guy. This guy represents the dude that she would drop everything for, and so man, she does not want to be in that circumstance. She wants to execute a polygamous drive and mate switch amongst a bunch of 6s versus be with that 1-9 that just blows them all away, and then they literally trade all their life goals in for that guy. You know what I mean? Like, that's a fear for them. And so there are just all of these other things that play a role. It's not always, the most alpha guy always gets the girl. He usually does, but not always. And that's the part that is very, very interesting, is the times that he doesn't get the girl is very interesting to me, But what that boils down to, I mean, let's take that scenario. Let's say this guy who's like an 8 really is into this. He's like let's say he's a blue pill alpha, right? And he doesn't know whatever. Let's say he's got religious things. He's got a bunch of things going on, and he really likes this 6 because a bunch of things in his unconscious mind, a bunch of things in his past experiences. Who the fuck knows? He's really into the 6, and that 6 ends up like not being with him out of anxiety and fear. And then that 6 goes with another, like a 7, that ends up beating the shit out of her and getting thrown in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And that happens all the time. I mean, so women are going for dudes who are getting thrown in jail, and women are going for dudes who are beating the shit out of them. Women are going for dudes with drug problems. Women are going for dudes that don't give a shit about them, that are going to cheat on them, guaranteed going to fucking cheat on them. And they go for those guys anyways. Women are going for the weak ass guys they're not attracted to. Women are going for, guys with resources, and women are going for guys with no resources. You know what I mean? And there's all reasons behind it, and we can dissect those reasons, but what it boils down to is that they're fucking idiots when they make these decisions. And so you can't base your personal value and how you see yourself on idiot decisions of any particular individual female. You can't do it. And a lot of questions and concerns I've gotten over the last couple weeks that I've been off the YouTube has been related to that. And so I just thought I would address that. Never placate to a woman, but never put your own personal value as a man. Never leave that up to the opinion of a woman. Okay, I don't care if she's your wife. You don't do it. Why? Because it's being driven by drives that are not smart, not logical, and often not going to secure any kind of long-term success. But the biggest reason to not do that is that you put yourself in the supplicating position as the male. And we all know, if you've been paying any attention to the things that I've been putting out in content that I've been, putting on YouTube here, is that when you supplicate yourself to a woman, you make yourself lesser than her, which then makes her not attracted to you. And I don't care if you're in a commitment, I don't care if you're married before the Lord, okay? Her attraction triggers are primal things that, are not logical and not smart. And if you do certain things, you're going to hit those the right way or you're not. All right? And no, it's not a complete, her decisions are not, black and white predictable necessarily. But we do know this much. If you supplicate yourself to a woman by basing her opinions of your value, or basing your personal feelings of value on her opinions, you've already lost. Okay, as a man, you've lost. So we want to win. We don't want to lose. All right, we want to play to win with women, not lose. And that means that you be your own mental point of origin, and you don't give a shit about what women think, because their decisions are ridiculous anyways. All right, thanks for tuning in. Slam the subscribe button. I need more subscribers. That means you, if you haven't subscribed yet. So hit the subscribe button, and I can hopefully start putting out more content. Got to work on my audio. I got to work on my background. I got to work on a lot of things here now that I'm in a new spot. Anyways, thank you for tuning in.